I've never been there. I got this at the mall. Okay. Um, Ecclesiastes 12. It's the last book in Ecclesiastes. We did it, guys. We made it to the end of the Ecclesiastes. This is a good chapter, so I'm gonna start reading the first part of it. Don't let the excitement of youth cause you to forget your Creator. Honor Him in your youth before you grow old and say, "Life is not pleasant anymore." Remember Him before the light of the sun, moon, and stars is dim to your old eyes, and rain clouds continually darken your sky. Remember Him before your legs, the guards of your house, start to tremble, and before your shoulders, the strong men stoop. Remember Him before your teeth, your few remaining servants, stop grinding, and before your eyes, the women looking through the windows see dimly. Remember Him before the door to life's opportunities is closed and the sound of work fades. Now you rise at the first chirping of the birds, but then all their sounds will grow faint. Remember Him before you become fearful of falling and worry about the danger of in the streets, before your hair turns white like an almond tree in bloom and you drag along with it the energy like a dying grasshopper, and the caperberry no longer inspires sexual desire. Remember Him before you near the grave, your everlasting home, when the mourners will weep at your funeral. Yes, remember the Creator now while you are young, before the silver cord of life snaps and the golden bowl is broken. Don't wait until the water jar is smashed at the spring and the pulley is broken at the well. For then the dust will return to the earth and the spirit will return to God who gave it. So, I mean, it means exactly what it says. And it's not just talking about old age, though, I think. I think this can apply to, as Christians, I feel like what we tend to do is we sort of, through the really tough times, it's really easy to go and be like, God, I need help. God, please help me. Please help me. Why are you doing this to me? It's really easy to cry out to Him when we're like having a really rough time, and a really low point. But I feel like it's harder, or it's not harder, but we often forget like to do the same thing when we're in a good place in our lives, or we're on a peak, on a mountain peak instead of a valley. When we're at a really high point in our lives, it's hard to give that glory to God instead of being selfish about it. And so it's kind of a reminder here. It's like, don't forget to acknowledge and worship and honor God while you're young and youthful and your life is fun, because it doesn't mean as much when when you're in trouble, or you're nearing the end of your life, and when I'm an old crippled man and I'm like, dang, I really need you now, God. But it's like I needed Him then when I was young too. I need Him now. I'm young. Sorry. Okay. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. It says concluding thoughts about the teacher, which is King Solomon. This is the last part of the whole book. Everything is meaningless, says the teacher, completely meaningless. That's kind of the overarching theme. There's nothing new under the sun. Everything means nothing. Keep this in mind. The teacher was considered wise, and he taught the people everything he knew. He listened carefully to many proverbs, studying and classifying them. The teacher sought to find just the right words to express truths clearly. The words of the wise are like cattle prods, painful but helpful. Their collected sayings are like a nail-studded stick with which a shepherd drives the sheep. But my child, let me give you some further advice. Be careful, for writing books is endless, and much study wears you out. That's the whole story. Here now is my final conclusion. Fear God and obey His commands, for this is everyone's duty. God will judge us for everything we do, including every secret thing, whether good or bad. So, I mean, he says much study wears you out. And I think when we're striving for all this knowledge, it's kind of pointless. I mean, you need knowledge, but to a point. There's some things we can't know, so we should strive for wisdom, and strive for wisdom and faith in God, who has all the ultimate knowledge, and knowledge that we can't even as humans fit in our little brains. So, yeah, and that's basically the point of Ecclesiastes, from what I've picked up on in my little study Bible here. It's sort of talking about the overarching story is that everything is meaningless without God, without Jesus, without faith in Jesus, and we shouldn't strive to know everything and to learn about everything. We should put our faith in God first, and it's okay to want to learn things, but we shouldn't worship our own intelligence. Coming from the smartest man ever, because he asked God for wisdom, and God made him the smartest man to ever live. So, for him to say that, it's like, oh dang, it's like the richest man ever telling you that money can't buy happiness type thing. So, yeah. See, I don't know what book I want to do next. I gotta figure that out. Leave in the comments what book I should do next. What book you think would help me, because I have to remember that this is my Bible study, and I'm trying to put it out there for people to watch and to see and to be an example. But primarily it's my Bible study, and it's helping me accountable, and so it's helping me inwardly, and it's not necessarily an outward thing. I just put it on here just for fun, and because I like making videos more than I like writing in a book. So I'm just yapping. I'm so sorry.